Hi guys, so good afternoon and welcome back to my magical world. It's me, Frostbite Goddess, your favorite celebrity here in the Philippines. It's 1:06 in the afternoon right now, and it's September 1, 2025. I hope you are, welcoming this month with a lot of hope for our future and for the future of our nation. You know, there's a lot of chaos happening all around the world. Like, since a lot of people are waking up with truth, but are being handed to them because again, um, since I'm not really sure if it's June or July, but up until I think October or November, it's actually very critical because there it's like the karma has its own way of delivering delivering it to the right people. Okay, so if you're doing something wrong, wait till everything catch up on you with interest. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to read page 292 and 293 of the book Mastery. I'm doing many things in between, guys. That's why I filmed early, para hindi na tayo later ma-rush. So let's take it slow since first day naman ng month. Okay, but strengthen yourself kasi marami pa kayong haharapin sa buhay. Okay? I will read it to you like the pearl. His hunger to get at the core of life by exploring its details drove him into elaborate research on human and animal anatomy. He wanted to be able to draw a human or a cat from the inside out. He personally dissected cadavers, sewing through bones and skulls. Wait lang, lumababa yung aking screen. Alam nyo guys, kung makikita nyo ako right now, matataw kayo sa setup ng screen ko kasi, ng phone. Because I'm using my old phone and it's not really working well. So, kailangan ko siyang clip. The LCD is kind of like in a shitty, So, yan. So, he personally dissected cadavers, sewing through bones and skulls, and he religiously attended autopsies so that he could see as closely as possible the structure of muscles and nerves. His anatomical drawings were far in advance of anything of his time for their realism and accuracy. To other artists, Leonardo seemed insane for all the attention to detail, but in the few paintings that he actually completed, the results of such rigorous practice can be seen and felt. More than the work of any other artist of his time, the landscapes and the backgrounds of his paintings seemed infused with life. Every flower, branch, leaf, or stone was rendered in intense detail. But these backgrounds were not simply there to decorate. In an effect known as sfumato, and one that was peculiar to his work, he would soften parts of these backgrounds to the point at which they would melt into the figure in the foreground, giving a dreamlike effect. It was part of his idea that all of life is deeply interconnected and fused on some level. The faces of women he painted had a pronounced effect on people, and particularly on men, who often fell in love with the female figures depicted in religious scenes. It wasn't any obvious sensual quality in their expression, but in their ambiguous smile and their beautifully rendered flesh, the man would recognize a powerfully seductive quality. Leonardo heard many stories of them finding their own way to his paintings in various houses and secretly fondling the women in the images and kissing their lips. So, ganon siya kaganda. Much of Leonardo's Mona Lisa has been damaged by attempts to clean and restore it in the past, making it hard to imagine as it is originally appeared and how its startling The qualities shocked the public. Fortunately, we have the critic Desir's description of it before it became hopelessly altered. The eyebrows growing thickly in one place and thinly in another, following the pores of the skin, could not have been more lifelike. The nose, with its ravishingly delicate pink nostrils, was life itself. The shaping of the mouth, where the red of the lips merged with the skin tones of the face, seemed to be made from colors from living flesh. In the hollow of the throat, the observant onlooker could see the pulsing of the veins. Long after Leonardo's death, his paintings continue to have haunting and disturbing effects on viewers. Numerous security guards in museums around the world have been fired for their weird, obsessive relationships to his work, and Leonardo's paintings remain the most vandalized in history of art. After all this, attesting to the power of his work to stir up the most visceral emotions. The primarily problem for artists in Leonardo da Vinci's day was the constant pressure to produce more and more work. They had to produce at a relatively high rate in order to keep the commissions coming and remain in the public eye. This influenced the quality of their work. A style had developed in which artists could quickly create effects in their painting that would superficially excite viewers. To create such effects, they would depend on bright colors, unusual juxtapositions and compositions, and dramatic scenes. In the process, they would inevitably gloss over the details in the background and even in the people they portrayed. They did not pay much attention to the flowers or the trees or the hands of figures in the foreground. They had to dazzle on the surface. Leonardo recognized this fact early in his career, and it distressed him. It went against his grain in two ways. He hated the feeling of having to hurry with anything, and he loved immersing himself in details for their own sake. He was not interested in creating surface effects. He was animated by hunger to understand life forms from the inside out and to grasp the force that makes them dynamic and to somehow express all of this on a flat surface. And so not fitting in, he went on his own peculiar path, mixing science and art. To complete his quest, Leonardo had to become what he termed universal for each object. He had to be able to render all of his details, and he had to extend his knowledge as far as possible to as many objects in the world as he could study. Through sheer accumulation of such details, the essence of life itself became visible to him, and his understanding of his life force became visible in his work. In your own work, you must follow the Leonardo path. Most people don't have the patience to absorb their minds in their fine points and minutiae that are intrinsically part of their work. They are in a hurry to create effects and make a splash. They think in large brush strokes. Their work inevitable reveals their lack of attention to details, and it doesn't connect deeply with the public, and it feels flimsy. If it gets an attention, the attention is momentary. You must see whatever you produce is something that has a life and presence of its own. This presence can be vibrant and visceral, or it can be weak and lifeless. A character in a novel, for instance, will come to life for the reader if the writer has put great effort into imagining the details of the character. The writer does not need to literally lay out these details. Readers will feel it in the work and will intuit the level of research that went into the creation of it. All living things are an amalgam of intricate levels of details animated by the dynamic that connects them. Seeing your work as something alive, your path to mastery is to study and absorb these details in a universal fashion to the point at which you feel the life force and can express it effortlessly in your work. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for helping make this world a better place for all of us and for the future generation. You have to make this September really to elevate you and to upgrade, all areas of your life. You need to focus, and focus. Okay, so tapos na natin. I hope you'll have a good day and a good month. This.